You're welcome back to these insights. We'll be talking about the youth. Youth development is something we have to take serious in Nigeria if we must arrive at our next milestone, the Nigeria that works for everybody. Eli, the Nigeria that works for everybody. Kingsley, the Nigeria that works for everybody. You can't remove the youth from the equation. And Nigerian youth over the years have felt marginalized.
70% of the population, between 65 to 70%.
And these people have felt marginalized to the point you hear Japa, things like that, people living in droves.
They suppose the supposed engine room of our economy.
And at the end of the day, it is the corruption in the system that is shortchanging them.
So you see a lot of the facilities that should have been for the youths are not engined. They're not on the pathway to which they should go. Number one, the Federal Ministry of Youths, before it used to be and sports.
Yes.
Some of the least looked up ministries. Now it's National Sports Commission. Who do sports? The youths.
Yeah.
Ministry of Education. The schools are in limbo, always having strike one way or the other. So this three arm, what was the attention given to them by either the state or the federal government? Today, we have private university. In fact, I just read down that Ojuzo Kalu's University has been approved. Now, university system has now, because if we want to give out the university system as a private entity, that's fine. But let us also see control, so that all this strike and all that, when it comes to federal university and state university, they can stay 1 year at home on a strike. How can that be? Look at Federal Ministry of Youth and Youth now. What have they done for the youth?
Development.
Youth development. What have they done to develop the youth? In what capacity? In what way? When they were.
What are their programs?
Do you know?
I don't.
Before it used to be Federal Ministry of Youth, Sports. What did they do? They went to the Olympics without bringing back anything.
Now, Eli.
9 billion or to 10 billion gone down the drain.
And they were renting bicycles from.
They were renting bicycles from the German team.
So, Eli, how do we get our youth to believe in this nation again? And how do we also curb or remove this corruption that has alienated them from the development of the nation?
You see, I just cried not up to a week. I lost 2 brothers. Now you want me to cry again. And that's exactly, because when you talk of youth and you talk of Nigeria, the leadership of this country, a lot has gone wrong. A lot is still going wrong. Nobody wants to suffer. If you know what our youth pass through, trying to travel out and what they go to face over there, and all boil down to one thing: failure on the part of our leaders, government. Corruption has so eaten deeply into the system of Nigeria that we don't have hope for tomorrow, not even the hope for today. You are talking about youth. It's so pitiful. A lot of them go to school and study, come out of school, no job. They try to struggle, no finance for them to even do what they learn.
Now, that finance, let me talk to you, Kingsley. Recently, our interest rate, approved base rate from CBN is almost 30-something%.
Yes.
Do they have special stimulant interest rate for youth programs?
No.
For example, we know that Nigerian youth are much in entertainment, which I'm very much experienced in. You know, they are in entertainment, they are in sport, they are in all this kind of development. At least that is where they can start off on their own easily. You know, little startups, entrepreneurship. Do you think our government have interest rates reserved for them?
I don't need to think. Already, there's nothing there. And there's no proposal for such things in our system.
No. We're talking of like, you are very conversant with your youth development at your personal level.
Yes.
So now, is there any way?
Yes. That we can bring it in.
To them to that.
Sure. There's a lot of, for example, most of the things you see is that when the youth finish National Youth Service Corps, they don't know what to do. They don't. You tell them go and register with the Civil Service Commission so that they can get employed. How many people can the Nigerian Civil Service Commission
they are really,
employ?
they are really facing frustration.
Let me see. Let's not shy away from facts. What Civil Service Commission? I've been in Abuja for over 20 years. I know a lot. My wife graduated for over 12 years, served with good result, no work. She has applied. Before they release advert for employment, your senators, your governors, your House of Reps members have gotten the same special list. How many Nigerian youth will you point today to tell me that got job on merits based on what they study and their results? Let's not deceive ourselves. There's no hope for the youth in this country.
Do you know that right now you cannot get a job with DSS, EFCC if you are not recommended by a high-profile Nigerian?
And at the end of the day, the CPN does not have any special way of saying, oh, you are a graduate, bring your original certificate.
No.
Let's give you a loan.
What can you do?
Interest-free loan.
Do you remember the case of Ministry of Interior calling for immigration to people to come and do you know how many people died? Do you know how many people died?
Yeah, in Abuja.
Yes.
God bless you.
Whoever went in for it?
Nobody.
Who died?
Nobody.
The youth.
The youth.
The jobs that were not going to be 1,000.
No, the job that has been given already.
Now, also, let's be, because we want to hit ourselves now.
Yes.
Let's say we are the youth.
Yes.
The system has also fought us back each time we speak up.
Yes.
For example.
Yes.
It's okay. One of the youngest governor was Yahaya Bello.
Yes.
That today there are series of corruption cases
Against him. Okay.
And he's one of the youngest governor.
Yes.
I mean, what else could you do than giving a youth chance to be a governor? So, issues of character building.
Okay.
How do we, our youth, also look inward so that we can galvanize ourselves and fight against these people that has held us bound?
Okay, so I've always told you 3 stratas to which we can either rate our growth or grow. I say one is punishment, the other one is reward. I say the last one is mentorship.
I like that.
Have you ever seen the youth being mentored or they are mentored wrongly? Even the ones that have come up through National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, or which other, the likes of organization, the politicians still collect them and hijack them to use it for their purpose and corrupt them in the process.
So how do we resist from being corrupted? Because we can't continue. This is a generational problem.
Yes.
We can't continue like this. We can't keep saying, oh, they dealt with us, they do this. We are almost stopping to become youth. If care is not taken. By the time you look at our faces.
We did your best. I think
so that's it. So that's what I'm saying. So we can't continue like this.
Yes.
Because we're waiting for these things to be handed to us.
Yes.
Now, we need to build our character.
Yes.
How do we galvanize ourselves and resist being taken over by these senators, so that they pull us out?
It's quite going to be difficult.
But there's no way out. Are we helpless?
Some way. Now, I saw the UN Odyssey says that United Nations, I think Department for Crime and something, UN Odyssey.
Partnership with our Minister of Youth.
Minister of Youth. Now, what they are saying is that the youth are saying we are not going to be as corrupt as we used to be or as they want us to be. So there's a decline in youth not collecting bribe. They said that's the survey they did. But you see, you will also still notice that most of the crime being committed or perpetrated in society are caused by youth. Most of the thuggery that we see in political activities.
So Ella, you are ready to
disagree with you. Don't condemn the youth here.
No, it's not condemning.
Our problem here is corruption. Our problem here is our politicians.
So Ella, how do we youth now galvanize ourselves to pull ourselves away from this corruption? Because the youths are tired.
You see, sir, let's not move away from truth. Moving ourselves away from corruption, why the only way you survive in this country today is by being corrupt? If we tackle corruption, the youth will move on the right path.
If these people refuse to tackle it, what would
where do we go from?
Goodness. Then we cannot fight them.
We cannot.
We cannot fight them because we burn the country down.
We don't want to burn our country
their life
down.
is almost expired. Yeah. So the country is ours. What we need to do is simple. We need to wake up, understand that we should not encourage them into doing the
So continue to do advocacy.
Yes.
Continue to talk.
Continue to talk, and then get ourselves involved in political.
And when you are called upon to be involved in that process that is corrupt, you can reject. But most times they are also hungry. Do not forget that.
Reject and report. Unfortunately, our judiciary are not even helping the matter.
We talked about it yesterday.
We're not helping the matter.
Remember?
Because if I can go to the judiciary with evidence that you, as an elder occupying a public office, is corrupt, and they come and pick you up and work on you, tomorrow I'll be encouraged to do more. But unfortunately, our judiciary is not helping us. And in the National Assembly, for instance, today are not even helping us either. So you see, it is the judiciary, the National Assembly, and our politicians, their body language and actions and corruption that is making the youth to be corrupt, that is making the youth to go into drugs, that is making the youth, instead of thinking of what to do vocationally, go into Yahoo business, because there is no future for legitimate business.
Because this is a very sincere discussion. A lot of people are also saying that our youth are not ready to be patient, to chase their dream, applying integrity, applying character, and applying sense of sowing and reaping at the right time. They want to get it all today. Is it part of the problem?
Yes, it's actually because of the decline of education.
Is there education?
Yes.
What,
Now, education in this sense, for example,
yeah.
I know some university, for example, that is their project supervisor that writes projects for them. They just pay.
Corruption.
And they are youth.
And they are youth.
Corruption.
My university, I never saw things like that. I mean, my project supervisor was a doctor, Dr. Baku of blessed memory. I wrote my project myself. He supervised it, submitted it, and graded me. Now, the youth on their own, for example, the lecturer will tell you that if you don't bring it for me to write it, you pay 300, 400,000, you're going to fail.
This is going to be a very long...
That's corruption.
This is going to be a very, very long discussion. I think maybe when we come back, we'll continue from there. We'll be right back. This is Sula News Insights. Don't touch the dial at all. This discussion, obviously, will continue. It's a long haul. Thank you.